SUV, sports utility vehicle. And we are about to watch Victory Christian tip off against Kennedy Charter. We saw Victory Christian yesterday, but this is the first time we'll be seeing Kennedy Charter, so we're working on getting our rosters together here and everything. My name is Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports, and joining me on this broadcast is James Blackburn.
Who I'm cleaning some food that I dropped here on myself after a great visit to the hospitality room.
Some early matchups, and we'll talk about one of the players that a lot of people who are watching will want to see is number 5 for Victory Christian, Izundu, who just committed to Charlotte and had a pretty solid game yesterday in the loss. And then right there, number 3, who just threw the inbound pass to Izundu, Deshaun Patterson, the guard for Victory Christian. Patterson also had a pretty solid outing going against one of the top guards in the country, Terrence Phillips of Oak Hill. Patterson's shot rims out. Full day of action on tap for us today, including more games from Huntington Prep. We just talked to the coaches there. I talked to Levi Cook of Huntington Prep just a moment ago. 6'10" center, and we've got Oak Hill. Foul inside, no score yet early in this game, 7-11 here in the first period.
And the emphatic charge call there by the official. I like that. Got to sell the call even as an official.
So I made the right call.
Whether you like the call or not.
Both teams trying to find their offense right here early on. There's Izundu trying to close.
And I like the look of Izundu. I've seen him play once before, but man, I mean, long, athletic, seals the post, got to give him the ball, which they do, mishandles it, but looks like, I mean, high motor kid, can close out on the perimeter. I like what I see so far.
I know I mentioned this on Twitter, so a lot of the 49er fans, Charlotte 49er fans are going to I've heard this already, but you know they have to like what they've seen. 49er fans, they got to commit this week. He runs up and down the floor very, very effortlessly. He has a fluid game. He gets those putbacks. Has good timing on the blocks. He's 6'9", definitely a college big man.
I mean, that's a good get for Charlotte. I mean, that's
absolutely played very well yesterday.
Charlotte, I saw them in action the other night. We've got some good bigs in Charlotte already.
And right here, number 2 for Kennedy Charter, Roger Ray, the kid I've liked for a while, starting at the point guard for Kennedy Charter.
Both of these teams showing a ton of energy early. Still nobody's scored with almost 2 minutes in. As we see, looks like Roger Bond from Slam is entering the building.
That's right, the media filling up the press row once again, just like they did yesterday. Ty Gadsden, cross-court pass over to Deshaun Patterson. Patterson drives, gets it back over to Gadsden.
That's a good extra pass.
Shot no good, and block. Could have been a foul call, and Izundu races it down, and that's Patterson. Back inside to Izundu, and Izundu draws the hoop and the harm, and that's going to put his team on the scoring block first. So, and Izundu goes to the line. So nice hands by Izundu, and he gets that high post feed from Patterson. A little two-man game going on.
Yeah, you got to credit Patterson right there. I mean, excellent. That's a tough pass to make.
Saw Patterson down in the Charlotte area in the fall league a few weeks ago, and I was impressed with his play. Very deft handle, doesn't make a lot of turnovers. And I thought he did very well. It's hard to compare when you're going against a team like Oak Hill, but I thought Patterson was one of the few bright spots in the loss there for Victory Christian. Izundu with the big rebound. Gets it out to Gadsden. Ty Gadsden, cross-court pass over to Brent Davis. Davis, number 24, stops, shoots, rims out, no good. And Izunu with the putback dunk, both hands.
That was very, very good looking.
It's been all
putback.
Victory Christian early here in this game. Kennedy Charter looking for some offense.
That's Lucas Johnson, 6'6", senior. And I like the look of Lucas Johnson. Never seen him play before, Marcus.
I saw him down in Gastonia, the showcase event a few weeks ago, and also in that same fall league where I saw a few other players, and I like him a lot. Very active.
Aggressive take there. Isaiah Thomas. I didn't know he was still playing, Marcus.
Isaiah Thomas in the game for Kennedy Charter, number 54.
We don't.
So they've got the roster here is incorrect. We'll correct that.
So if you have a name of Isaiah Thomas, you better be able to play.
Patterson, good ball movement from Victory Christian, and they get the three-pointer, and that's a big important shot for them.
It is that when you can hit the three, that gives Zindu more room to operate inside.
Nice pass from Isaiah Thomas, although he's not a point guard. Nice bounce pass in transition.
You think it should be a rule that if your name's Isaiah Thomas, you should have to play point guard?
Well, that's a tough rule to enforce.
It is, but.
Did you like how I pretended to take that seriously, that suggestion?
Well, I was serious with my suggestion. And that's Brent Davis. I've seen him several times in the past. That's an excellent left to right crossover dribble. Really patient player. Can kind of handle the ball a little bit. I believe he was at the Phenom event either a couple weeks ago or last week, Marcus. I forgot, but see so much basketball lately that it's tough to remember where you see players at specifically. But
you know, and anybody who's in the Triad area, anyone close to the Triad area who's watching this online, I suggest you get out of the house, even though it's cold outside today. Get out of the house and come down here because the games are just going to get better all day long.
College football season's over, people. It's been basketball season for a while.
Today, they got it in the media room in there, but tough rebound inside.
That's a strong rebound. Good kick out. This is going to be a fun game to watch, Marcus. I could tell both of these teams are pretty evenly matched. You know, both teams struggled early on offensively, but they're going to get it going here. I expect this game to be pretty high scoring.
Yeah, these teams are pretty familiar with each other. These guys play rec league and pickup league against each other, have known each other for years. Really nice outside-looking shot. Can't let the defense drop like that. Brent Davis
is a solid college prospect. Once again, we've got Ricky Gautry, 6'9". You know, it's pretty nice as a coach when you have 3 6'9" players on the same team. We were alluding to this yesterday with.
Yeah, Gautry showed some nice ability yesterday. He's a 2015 6'9" player.
Good up ahead court pass. That's high-level basketball right there.
Deshaun Patterson with the finish. Going against Roger Ray. Roger gets the ball back. Number 2 shoots from the elbow off the back of the rim. Battle is Zundu, not able to corral it. And Isaiah Thomas able to come up with it, and he's going to draw the foul. And I believe he's going to draw that foul on Zundu.
Foul's on number 5, Zundu. That's his first.
So inbounding the ball, Kennedy Charter down 13-4. Victory Christian has established an early lead with 2:40 left to go here in the first period.
Coming in at Victory Christian, number 12, Chris Moore.
See what kind of out of bounds action they do here. Simple screen, strong take.
Big rebound there by Zundu. And then if that fouls on the Zundu, that's going to be 2 quick ones.
Here with Jeffrey. Well, I don't see Jeffrey down there in the PA this game, but
Yeah, I believe they've been rotating.
That's his first 16.
they did call it on him, so that's good news.
Roger Ray on the line with 2 shots.
And right now we've got the twin towers in the game, both 6'9". See what kind of dominance they can establish early on. I like that little high-low action. It's a nice stroke.
Roger Ray bringing the ball up. Working against Gadsden. Nice cross-court pass to number 21, Benjamin Pfeiffer. And right now, Victory Christian kind of clicking here. Got things going. Kennedy Charter wants to talk it over, and there's going to be a timeout on the floor.
But you know, Victory Christian, they utilize their bigs, Marcus. I mean, that's
Very effective. They seem to have picked up some stuff that they weren't doing well yesterday, and they came out strong, shook off the loss that they experienced yesterday, and came back hard today. Took a tough loss yesterday to Oak Hill, which happens to a lot of teams this time of year. But came back strong today, and the Zundus look really good so far.
he has. He's shown that ability to knock down not only his free throws, but the 15-foot jump shots.
Hard not to like a guy that puts in as much effort as he has, that has the length and the natural ability that he has. We're here all day broadcasting the Phenom National Hoops Showcase from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're actually coming from Forsyth Country Day School. I think technically we're right outside of Winston-Salem.
We are. I think we are in Louisville.
Louisville, probably.
Chris Paul's hometown.
That's right. If it has a claim to fame, it'll probably be known as being Chris Paul's hometown. His high school, West Forsyth, maybe a mile or two from here, from where we're broadcasting right now. And his parents still live in the area.
You know,
Chris Paul's very active in the community here.
him and Josh Howard. Josh Howard's also from right up the road in Winston-Salem.
Josh Howard, having played in the NBA and at Wake Forest University, just like Chris Paul, from Glenn High School on the other side of Winston-Salem.
Kennedy Charter showing a little bit of pressure defense here. That's an excellent high-low feed right there. I mean, the more I watch Abuku Izindu, again, committed to USC Charlotte, I mean, they got themselves to be really special, Marcus. I mean, I can see him getting minutes right away there.
And I think what I really like about Izindu is not only his energy and his touch, but that the fact that I see upside to him. I don't think he's a finished product, and you know what you see now is already a very likable player.
Well, when he goes there next year at USC Charlotte, they're going to have a 6'11" center, big, and with Zindu's ability to knock down the 15-footer, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go with a little, double big action there.
Right now, he may be playing some 4.
Exactly.
Even in this game. And there's a steal in the open court, and it looks like it's either a foul or stepping on the out-of-bounds line.
That was Terry Alston, 6'5", 2016 player, trying to toe the line. Keyshawn, I'm just going numb here, Marcus, in the NFL.
Oh,
Keyshawn Johnson style.
Yeah. He tossed it over to me. I couldn't quite get it. Terry Alston is a very crafty player. Got great size. He can draw the foul effectively.
That's a tough shot. I don't like that shot right there.
Good hands by Zundu, and he draws the foul by Isaiah Thomas. And Thomas really has his hands full with Zundu.
Foul on number 54, Isaiah Thomas.
been talking about Ibuka Izundu all day, 6'9". He had a good game yesterday, but today, right now, he's just come out on fire.
And I'm over here.
Wants to go over the top, and that looks like he may have gotten a push. Wanted to finish off that alley-oop, and it's another foul on Kennedy Charter. Kennedy Charter down by 10 early here with 1:16 left to go in the first period, 18-8.
Yeah,
Foul is on number 21, Benjamin.
it's tough. The size is something that it's tough to go up against.
Here's Izundu at the line. That shot rings out. Lucas Johnson with the rebound. Deep outside shot is good, and that's going to be a very helpful shot by DeMar Jones. DeMar Jones is listed at 6'8". And dropped that outside shot like a guard.
I like the energy and all these players being vocal, Marcus. This is something that you don't see a lot. You hear it from here. A lot of these players on defense right now for Kennedy Charter being vocal.
And you know what? That's one thing that I always try to tell people when they scout and they see guys on television. You don't get the full picture unless you're in person, unless you're here in the gym. You can hear the players, you can hear the coach, and you get a much better understanding of how the players understand the game. Lucas Johnson playing some tough D on the outside here, and that's going to be a carry on Ty Gadsden. Excellent defense by number 4, Lucas Johnson of Kennedy Charter.
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, Lucas Johnson, he's more, if you ask me, he's more of an undersized 4 at this point. 3-4, but I mean, playing defense right there on a point guard, that was impressive.
Yeah, right now he's slated at the 4.
And came back and put up an air ball at the 3, but
you know, right now at the end of the first period, 18-11 in favor of Kennedy Charter. And I want to talk really quickly about our sponsors for today's event, or this weekend's event. Foothills Brewery, the microbrewery located in downtown Winston-Salem. They also have a restaurant. James Blackburn will swear by them, and we say that it's a great place for your post or pregame meal downtown Winston-Salem. And I also want to thank Crossover. Crossover's products allow coaches to slice and dice their video and tag it and really dig into an in-depth dissection, so to speak, of the plays and specific instances and situations. And Crossover, excellent product, and any high school and college coach in the country would benefit from that. And he got a couple more wins for the year, and we really appreciate their support at this weekend's event. This weekend's event is brought to you by Netcast Sports. You can follow us on Twitter at Netcast Sports in partnership with the SUV, and you can follow the SUV Sports Utility Vehicle at SUV TV. And we're really glad to have them along for the ride, and we hope to work with them quite a bit in the future. We really encourage you to follow them and check out their services and see what broadcasts they have. And James, we're right back in the action here in the second period. Deshaun Patterson back in to Brent Davis. And
good ball movement right there.
Excellent ball movement, as you said, by Victory Christian, and they get it into Izundu.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, this might be, out of all the basketball I've seen this year at the high school level, Marcus, this might be the best team I've seen that utilizes their big man, which I'm going to continue to give them credit this game over and over, because you know how I love to utilize big men.
Well, I agree with you. And, you know, I'll have to say that there's two factors in this. One is that it looks like they've made adjustments just since last night, having to go up against Oak Hill. They're using their bigs a lot more effectively. And it also comes into the fact that they have some solid guards in the backcourt. Deshaun Patterson, number 3, and Ty Gadsden, number 4, have both been extremely effective. And there's a lot of combo guards in high school, to the point where there's so many combo guards that colleges just can't really look at that many combo guards. But a true point guard is actually much more rare than people realize, and that's exactly what Deshaun Patterson is. And there's Izundu affecting that shot on the defensive end, gets it up.
Good
Deshaun
pass.
Patterson with the break, finds Brent Davis, and Izundu with the touch shot, but doesn't get it to go down, and it rims out, and that's going to stay with Victory Christian. 7:33 left to go here in the second period. Deshaun Patterson unmarked, as they would say on the soccer field, and catches that inbound pass and puts it right up and in. And that pushes the lead out to 11 for Victory Christian.
That's a good pass right there.
Lucas Johnson battling inside against Izundu, and he's going to draw the foul. And we'll see if that's going to be on Izundu.
Foul's going to be on number 5.
It is going to be on Izundu. Not sure if.
But I don't mind. I don't mind that foul right there. I mean, you're making the guy earn it at the free throw line, and I mean,
perhaps, but that's 2 early fouls, and he's going to have to go to the bench now with 7:14. It brings Ricky Gotry back off the bench.
But you know, when you have a big man like Gultry that could come off the bench, you can almost afford to put Izundu back in the game, unlike most other coaches could do, because just because you have a big man to put back in the game.
It's really tough. It's a tough choice knowing that you have a big man that likes to swat those shots. He's going to be going after shot blocks, regardless of whether he's coming from the 5 spot or the 4 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Alston inside with the rebound and a tough play, and he draws the foul. He's going to go to the line.
Foul's going to be on number 42, Warren Jones. That's his second and 9th team foul. Terry Alston on the line, shooting 2.
First shot goes down for Terry Alston. I really like Alston as a player. I see something out of him that you usually only see at the higher college levels and even in the pro levels. A guy who really understands when it's not about just scoring and being able to shoot, which he can. He can take the shot, and he can even take it being knocked to the floor and draw in the foul. He also understands the craftiness of it, that sometimes it's better to take a foul or just wait on the defender to make or the offensive player or defender to make a mistake. And that's something you usually don't see until guys are playing a few years in college, and sometimes not even until you get to the pro level.
Yeah, there's a few guys in the pros that still don't understand the difference between when to shoot and when to pass.
Big rebound there by Ricky Gotry. Number 23 on, and now Victory Christian, Ty Gadsden. He's over to Brent Davis. Inside to Alston, back out to Patterson. Patterson turns around and was talking to the coach and didn't realize it.
Great on-ball defense right there. That's Roger Ray. Haven't called his name out today, Marcus, but we've seen him in the past.
That's right, Roger Ray, very sure-handed point guard.
Came in for his defense right there. Ooh,
Foul driving
it's
to
a
the
tough
basket.
call.
I believe that's going to be Dion Alex going to the line. Dion Alex, a 6'2" senior for Kennedy Charter.
And you know, if you're, I know there's numerous college coaches at this game right now, but there's a lot of unsigned prospects out there. I mean, for both teams. I know we've mentioned it in Zundu several times as he's committed to Charlotte, but I mean, just there's several other players. I mean, Ty Gadsden, Deshaun Patterson.
Early in the high school season, and I kind of consider this event this year to be launching the high school season on a national scale. But you know, a lot of times colleges are starting to scramble because colleges, unless you're I'll say quote unquote name college like UNC or Duke or Kansas, you're scrambling to find out who's still available that can play in the college level. At
Yeah.
one point, and the player choices get thinner and thinner as you get closer to the spring. And right now, there's so many players out there that are still available that colleges should be scooping them up and can have impact next year.
And sometimes, I mean, these college coaches just talking to enough of, they wait until the player gets one offer, and then when that player gets one offer, they said, okay, well, if he got offered by then they start looking at it. But, if you're that first one, that could really mean something.
Yeah, we see several players in this event that maybe have one or two, but really should have more. And it's not just about gathering a bunch of offers. A lot of these guys, they know they're not going to the NBA, or they know that they're not getting those high major offers, but they want more options. They want the right fit for them.
A name that comes to mind is Chavis Howard. Attended our showcase a couple of years ago. I believe he is at which school, Marcus? Charleston Southern, 6'8", big man. He went from going from about one offer to I think he garnered about, close to 20 in a matter of a month or so.
Yeah, and then some guys just sort of come on really fast. Some colleges will make their choices too early or their decision too early on a guy, not let him develop, and then they won't come back and look at him until it's too late, you know.
Yeah.
Roger Ray showing a good depth handle outside. Kennedy Charter handling this pressure from Victory Christian very well. But the shot no good and rebound by Gotri.
Gotri's done a great job of coming in and replacing Azundu. He's controlled the glass on both ends and, you know, hasn't done anything to hurt the team at all and actually helped him in a lot of ways. So.
And, you know, he's not only come in to spell Azundu to allow him to sit with those 2 fouls. He's played off of Azundu. You know, when they've both been in the game, he's known how to play at that 5 spot with another big in there. So.
And it looks like there's another player, Silla Vicaria, 2016. It doesn't look like he might be at the end of the bench there, Marcus. He may be inactive this game.
He did play last night. Had a couple of nice blocks.
Yeah.
In the game, but that's just the thing about Victory Christian. They have some depth there at the post position.
Well, you know, if he was playing, you know, you would probably think that they would be able to go more with the double post lineup. But now, you know, with him out, possibly they're just having to sub these guys in and out, because I did like that combo of Gutri and Izundu. It was very effective, and that's one of the reasons they built up this big lead, I think.
Yeah, they did use that combo quite a bit last night. And I think with Izundu, if I could start, you know, critiquing his game somewhat from what I've seen, he is going to have to watch his fouls. I mean, he's not what I would call overly foul prone, which big men can be, but he's foul prone enough that, you know, a couple of quick fouls and, you know, you're taking yourself, you know, out of the game. You can't help your team if you're sitting on the bench.
Well, you know, one thing I noticed with that though is his lower leg strength he would have to develop, but that's one of the reasons I see him as more of a 4-man, because he does show the ability to close out on shooters and play on the perimeter. In the college level, you know, I think he could do that almost more than playing the 5 down low. You noticed a new trend in college nowadays of, instead of getting length and size, they go with more 6'6" guys. They're a little bit undersized that have really good leg strength and different things. But
Deshaun Patterson back at the point now, whips it over to Ty Gadsden. He's going against Lucas Johnson. Johnson gets
good
away
pass.
from Johnson inside to Gotri. It takes the foul and finishes the play like a pro. And that pushes the lead out 33-16 with 4:29 left to go in the half.
And he deserved that bucket. He was working real hard there on the block to establish position, and they were able to get it to him late. I'm really impressed with this Victory Christian squad so far. I wasn't fortunate enough to see him yesterday, but I mean, they're doing work here against a solid team at Kennedy Charter.
You know, last night we were watching the game and we were calling the game, and you know, we said on the broadcast yesterday about Victory Christian that you can't take one game and one loss as being the end of the season, and you just live to fight another day. And they were overmatched against Oak Hill, but you don't know how that would be over the course of the season. You can't let that define your entire year. And Victory Christian has taken that to heart. You know, as far as that's the attitude they've shown, and they've come back out here really strong and just jumped on Kennedy Charter early here. So
yeah. Lucas Johnson, he's made a living there at the line. He's doing everything he can to keep Kennedy charted. I just think that the guard play of Victory Christian is just worn down Kennedy Charter this half.
One player I haven't seen for Kennedy Charter, and I'm not sure what the status of him is a guy I like a lot, Isaiah Love. He hasn't come in yet, or if he has, I haven't seen much yet. So here's Deshaun Patterson driving, splitting the defense, scoring.
Wow, that was impressive.
Everything going right now for Victory Christian.
But you got to give Deshaun, I mean, what made that impressive was he never got cut off. And as a guard, a lot of times they see a defender stunt, and they go ahead and kick out when really the guy never committed to taking him away. He saw the path, almost like a running back. He saw the path down low. He saw his drive line, and he got bumped, and he kept going.
Yeah,
so
Patterson is very good at taking contact in the open floor.
And he gave some contact right there.
Playing a little cornerback right there, a little too physical off the line.
Yeah, if basketball doesn't work out, I could see a future for him in football. He's got a running back build.
And here's Isaiah Lowe, and he's actually wearing number 12. which is why I couldn't find him on the roster earlier. And
It would have taken us a long time to find him.
And one of the things I like about Lowe as he hits the free throw is Lowe always seems to know where he's supposed to be on the floor. When he can play on or off the ball, and even though he's a point guard, Kennedy Charter has a lot of point guards. So right here, Lowe defending against Ty Gadsden as they trap with Lucas Johnson in the backcourt.
They broke that pressure with ease.
Deep outside shot, no good.
He followed his shot, though.
Good hands there by Dion Alex, so to knock it. And there's Lowe, gets out of control, and they're going to call a charge on Isaiah Lowe.
You know, I'm going to go into one of my other rants, Marcus, and that is the call of the charge on the pass. I just don't like the now that time it looked like he bumped into him and then passed. But you see a lot of times the player drives in and they're passing, they let go of the ball, and then they get called for a charge. You know, so I'm just not a big fan of that call. But that one right there, he did clearly bump into him hard. He lowered his shoulder, which I think was the referee saw that.
We've got a three-quarter press being shown here by Kennedy Charter, trying to shorten the possession a little bit. And nice hands there by Isaiah Lowe under the basket. He wasn't able to corral the steal once he knocked it loose, but good defense there by Isaiah Lowe.
And that was Chris Martin on the drive. I like what I see so far from Martin. I mean, he got the ball. He didn't dribble the ball.
Deep shot by Brent Davis. Looked really good coming off his hands, but just rimmed out. And now back to Lucas Johnson. Shot no good.
A little rush that time.
And here's Lowe driving to his left.
Good
feeds
pass.
it back over the top. Open court steal there by
Martin.
A wild shot by Martin, but Ty Gadsden is there to clean it up.
Sometimes you're better off just throwing a shot up like that, knowing you've got two guys coming behind you.
And just like that, they've pushed the lead out to 18, 2:54 left to go here in the first half. Lucas Johnson up, draws the foul, and we'll see who that's going to be on.
Foul's going to be on number 20, Preston Gaines. That's his first.
Preston Gaines, number 20, the foul. And they thought for a moment it might be on Ricky Gotry, number 6'9". They don't need any more fouls on big men.
It's the one thing about big men, you got them, but sometimes, you know, they, like you had mentioned earlier, they get in foul trouble. And if you've got them on your team, you want them to be on the floor. That's great patience. I mean, Victory Christian's shown great patience against this pressure. Hasn't bothered him at all.
Nice move by Brent Davis, but wasn't able to get it to go
Good
down.
hustle.
Gotry with the rebound. Good ball movement here. Ty Gadsden, and you know, Deshaun Patterson being out of the game, they're still able to work that ball around, and that's going to be a travel.
And that was Ty Gadsden on the post feed, though. I mean, even though he walked, you got to give Gadsden credit for throwing the ball to the post, which you don't see a lot of players do.
38-22 now in favor of Victory Christian. It's been all Victory Christian in this game, right from the tip. Kennedy Charter trying to work the ball around. Deep outside shot there by Benjamin Pfeiffer, no good, and we're going back with Victory Christian. Ty Gadsden, dangerous in the open floor, finds Brent Davis. Davis drives and up.
That's too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy. That's going to prompt a timeout.
Kennedy Charter is going to talk things over once again.
We'll probably see the coach imploring his players to play some better defense.
Do you understand the point of this game is to stop them from scoring while we score? But Kennedy Charter trying to find some answers, and this isn't an insurmountable lead, but 18 points is an impressive margin of victory so far for Victory Christian.
And it's tougher at the high school level. I mean, it's just, the game pace is slower. There's no shot clock. So a lead like this is definitely, once you build it up, it's tough to come back from this.
One of the advantages of playing this level of basketball with these types of players, the shot clock doesn't really become a factor because they like to get up and down. They're more effective if they get more possession. So you do have that opportunity on the defensive end, or if you're trailing, to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if they were playing somebody who had an 18-point lead and really used that shot or that lack of a shot clock, it would be over. It would be over now. Kennedy Charter working the ball around. Deep shot from the corner, no good, rimmed out. Grabbed by Brent Davis. And then slapped out of bounds by Dion Alex. Oh, it looks like it's going to be called out on Davis. So Kennedy Charter with the ball still.
Evidently, the officials were not listening to our broadcast when you made that call, Marcus.
Well, I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Roger Ray back in the game now. Number 2 gets it inside to Lucas Johnson. Johnson, nice slashing step.
And one thing is, I don't know if Victory Christian read the scouting report before this game, because Chris Johnson, I mean, I love his game. You know, he's attacking the rim. I'm sorry, Marcus, not Lucas Johnson. I apologize, but he's great at going to his right, but I haven't seen him go to his left much.
Steal by Lucas Johnson.
Good cross-court pass, Roger Ray.
Ray tries to feed it under and is stolen by Gotri.
A little bit too much passing right there.
And now back to Ty Gatson. We haven't seen Deshaun Patterson for a while for Victory Christian, but they haven't really needed him. Ty Gatson doing a good job running the point now.
He is. I'm impressed with the way he's running it. He's not, you know, he's making good reads. Another great pass right there.
Puts the ball on the floor, gets it to Gotri. Gotri tries to shoot it, but he's fouled underneath by Roger Ray.
And, you know, coaches that are watching this game right now, what they will see is the bigs for Victory Christian are almost touching the ball, Marcus, every time down the floor. And you see what the score is of the game. It's an 18-point game. And it's because the guards are getting the big men the ball and they're playing off of that. You know, something that I would have liked to see St. Louis do yesterday. They're slowing it down in the half court and they're giving their bigs a chance to earn their buckets, which they're doing. We'll get to see St. Louis again today, Marcus, in a later game.
Yeah, I advise any college coaches who are out there looking for your bigs for the class 2015. You definitely need to tune in for the St. Louis Christian games if you're not here in person.
A plethora of big men. There's Chris Johnson again attacking.
You mean Lucas Johnson?
Lucas Johnson.
Brent Davis now, number 24. Victory Christian with the ball. Gets it over to Ty Gatson. That three-quarter court pressure. Making some inroads, and that's going to cause Victory Christian to call a timeout.
It's a good timeout. 23 seconds left. We want to make sure that they went over half court, so they get the ball on that side, and we want to make sure they set up a play here, probably to establish Galtree in the post. That's been working for him. But you see, Lucas Johnson, they keep letting him catch the ball at the high post. And he keeps attacking to his right. And I don't know if, that's something that Victory Christian will go over in the locker room at halftime, but maybe force him left a little bit and see if he can still attack that strongly that way.
What about on the other side of the ball? What do you think adjustments they might make in the
for
locker
Freedom
for Kennedy Charter?
Oh, for Kennedy, I think that they'll double team the post a little more. They've been letting the post guys operate one-on-one, and they haven't been able to do much with that. So start making Victory knock down some shots outside. They've been getting everything in the paint.
Ty Gatson driving, shooting, scoop shot. No good, gets his own rebound. That battles around Gotri with the rebound, splits the defenders. And there's going to be a jump ball in the possession arrow. Looks like it's going to go over to Kennedy Charter. Roger Ray pushing it up 1.5 seconds. Deep shot. Close, but no good, and that's going to wrap up the first half. 42-22 lead. Easily in hand right now for Victory Christian with a 20-point lead. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports alongside James Blackburn, and we will be back right after the half.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize.
And we're back here for the second half between Victory Christian and Kennedy Charter, and hopefully Kennedy Charter was able to make some adjustments at the half. They're down by 22, James, and we tried to run to the hospitality room and came back just in time. So hopefully that's not what Kennedy Charter was doing.
Well, if they were able to go out and add about 3 or 4 inches to every one of their players, I would say that would be a heck of an adjustment to make.
Well, I think Kennedy Charter's a pretty solid squad. They just got jumped on early here.
Yeah.
We'll see what they can do, but you're right about one thing, and they have to deal with the size of the Ebuka Izundu, number 5 for Victory Christian, the Charlotte commit that we were talking about. And he actually sat much of the first half after hitting 2 quick fouls.
But Ricky Goltry really filled in and played really well in his absence, so that was good. But yeah, if Kennedy Charter can add a few more inches to each position and go out and maybe find a couple of 7-footers out there that are in the stands at halftime, they might be able to get over this.
Beautiful play there by Zundu, just caught and finished right at the rim. And that pushes the lead out back to 22.
Great defense right here. They help each other. They talk on defense. It's a good closeout by Zundu.
Lucas Johnson with a great step through there. Isn't able to finish. Just that height in there is giving everybody on Kennedy Charter so much trouble.
Yeah, he's really battling though.
And here's a guy we really like, Deshaun Patterson, quick
Good
on the
feed.
move, finds Zundu on the move.
And I mean, Victory Christian isn't letting up. I mean, they're coming right out at halftime, and they're filling in right where they left it.
And we talked earlier a bit in the first half about having a true point guard, a floor general. And Deshaun Patterson, when he fed that ball inside to Zundu, and Zundu had the ball slapped away, Patterson immediately turned to the referee and said he was in the act of shooting. So, he's aware on the floor. He's like, well, the referee wasn't going to have any of it. But Patterson knows exactly what he's trying to do and what his team needs.
Yeah, I mean, you really got, you've got Deshaun Patterson and Ty Gladson. And Ty Gladson showed the ability to effectively run the point guard position there at the end of the second quarter.
They got a two-headed monster going there.
Most teams don't even have one point guard that can effectively run the show.
Here's Roger Ray. He's going to drive.
He's solid. It's a good pass.
Feed inside to number 14, Deion Alex, 6'2", Deion Alex, class of 2015 for Kennedy Charter. Press the lead to 20, and right now Kennedy Charter has to be thinking just to whittle away at the lead here in the third period, try to get it as close to 10 as they can so they can get into that fourth period and have a shot. Battle on the floor. Roger Ray comes up with it. He's in the open floor. Just really quick finish up and
That's
good
tough.
by Roger
That's
Ray. In between about 2 or 3 defenders.
Right over Zundu and spin move. Zundu right now looks like he's hobbling a little bit,
Coming
Marcus.
up limping, and he's got that calf. Well, he's got that leg wrap on his calf, but I don't believe that's an injury. But
He might be cramping right now.
He is favoring that leg. So he's gone over to the side to seek some attention.
You know what I'm most impressed with? I've already mentioned this a couple times, but how much they're utilizing Zundu. But what's more impressive is you've got Deshaun Patterson, Ty Gladson, and you've also got Brent Davis. So Brent Davis is one of the most underrated players in this game, if you ask me. I mean, he can create his own shot. He's athletic. He can shoot the ball. You've got all these solid guards on the floor, Marcus, and they could all shoot whenever they need to. They could all get a high-quality shot, but they understand the importance of utilizing their big men.
Yeah, Davis had a tough shooting night last night, but he's really looked solid, and he does square up very well on the shot. He's got that 6'4" frame.
I mean, you
nice
take that for
finish
example.
inside by Ty Gadsden.
That was excellent.
It's a two-part thing here for Kennedy Charter. They've got to consistently score, and they've also got to show that they can slow down Victory Christian. Ray kicks outside to Alex. Nice shot over the top by DeMar Jones, a 6'8" player, also in the class of 2015.
And Roger Ray is effectively, he's running the show for Kennedy Charter right now.
And now Gadsden has moved over to the point with Patterson on the bench.
Too much dribbling right now. Just give it up, run something. Establish your big.
Terry also drives, sweeps up under, and gets fouled as DeMar Jones kind of reaches and grabs him around the neck. And Roger Ray is telling Jones he's got to move his feet, don't reach. And that's excellent coaching on the floor by Roger Ray.
And Mel Randleman, the head coach of Kennedy Charter right there, I mean, you just got to, you almost have to put your head in your hands. I mean, you play good defense for, 10, 15 seconds, and then your guy drives and gets an and one.
Good rebound by DeMar Jones. Gives it up to Roger Ray. He gets into trouble, gives it up to Lucas Johnson. Outside to Isaiah Lowe. Lowe forced to play off the ball much of this game because of Roger Ray's ability to run the point. Now, Ray calling for the pick, set by Lucas Johnson.
That's nice. Good action. I don't like that shot right there. He had a foot on the line, a long two, it was contested.
Yeah, Jones has shown that ability to be that stretch four at 6'8". One thing is, though, he faded on that shot for no reason.
That's
and
a
right
tough
there,
drive.
Fouls Ty Gadsden, and he's slow to get up.
But he had an excellent and one move there. But, these players need to understand we haven't seen a lot of bad shots today, honestly. We've seen a lot of smart shot selection. But if you've got a foot on the line, it's probably not a good shot whether you're open or guarded.
Well, DeMar Jones at 6'8", as I said, he's really a stretch four. He's shown that ability to knock it down, but fading when you're unguarded on that shot doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
You can already shoot over pretty much everybody else in the game with the exception of maybe Zundu and Gotri. So I'm sure when he looks back at the film, he'll realize he got that shot up way too quickly. Here's Roger Ray calling out instructions, working against Brent Davis.
And that's a good matchup between those two.
Lucas Johnson's shot is short. Terry Alston with the rebound, and now we're going the other way. Alston gives it up. Actually, Alston on the receiving end and tried to draw the foul there. Oh, nice little playground fade.
I like
out
that.
there by Alston.
The old pump fake.
The old pump fake. A little bit of some Rucker Park style action going on out there.
Really stretching this lead out up to 25 now.
Isaiah Lowe's shot off
Another
the side of the rim.
Too many outside jump shots right now put up by Kennedy Charter.
I really feel at this point Kennedy Charter has kind of the
Almost
last few plays they've given up on executing their offense, and they've really got to rein it back in.
Well, it's just going to be tough now. I mean, we're over halfway through the third quarter, and Victory Christian's getting whatever they want right now on the offensive end. I mean, they're running their sets. They're getting into the paint. That's one of the main things. They just can't keep the ball out of the paint, Marcus. They haven't been able to contain the ball.
And that's a beautiful drive there by Brent Davis to sort of put a dot on your fine point on your statements about him earlier. And that's going to cause a timeout by Kennedy Charter. And now down 55 to 28 with 3:25 in the third. It's going the opposite way what they wanted. They wanted to cut into this lead in this third period.
And it's extended. You know what? Something I would have liked to maybe see from Kennedy Charter is a little zone defense, maybe a 1-3-1, something like that to kind of mix it up a little bit. But right now it's hard to go to a zone because of the time issue. You know, you don't want them to just sit back, but I mean, they just can't keep the ball out of the paint, Marcus. I mean, that's been the biggest problem this entire game is they haven't been able to contain the ball.
So we got 3:25 left to go here in the third quarter. I want to talk quickly about our sponsors, Foothills Brewery. The microbrewery located in downtown Winston-Salem is not only a microbrewery, but also a restaurant that we swear by. You should drop by and check it out. And I also want to talk about Crossover. Crossover's software products help college coaches and high school coaches dissect their video, tag it, split it up, and really break it down to a level that will help you win games. This is as blunt as I can be, but a lot of college and high school coaches swear by it, and I highly recommend you look at it if you haven't. If you want to win more games, check out Crossover, and we do appreciate their support. Back in action here. 3:21 left to play. Kennedy Charter looking for any kind of answers. Lucas Johnson has had a lot of athleticism, and right there he gets a nice alley-oop over the top to Cedric Miller, number 40. Haven't really heard much from Miller today. Lucas Johnson's been, you know, an active player, hasn't really been able to do much so far, but a nice assist there. And now Roger Ray in the open court, very effective, and big-time block off the backboard by Ricky Gotri. Victory Christian now, they want to go push the ball. Gadsden finds it to Deshaun Patterson, who
ball
gives it right
movement.
back to Alston, and that was just a beautiful.
That's how you utilize a fast break right
That
there.
is an incredibly effective fast break. All 5 people for Victory Christian down the court.
Wow.
Great body control there by Gotri, but a score, nice score there.
That was
Charter.
That was Anthony Robertson, 5'8" senior, went up over the 6'9" Coltree, put his body into him and threw up a circus shot with his left hand, and it,
You know,
it
once
dropped.
we talked yesterday about how we were watching Faith Assembly of Durham take on St. Louis Christian, and how those players weren't really as familiar with each other because of the distance between them. But these two schools are full of players who are very familiar with each other. They play against each other in high school. They play against each other in rec league, pickup ball. Many of them, know each other and are friends. And so, these guys, they're much more familiar with each other's style of play than we may have seen from some of the other guys.
They know each other, and they still let Lucas Johnson keep attacking to his right.
Yeah, well, Lucas, Deshaun, a couple of the other guys I've seen in several events in the same area. So
That's good.
Sometimes on the same team, sometimes going against each other. Roger Ray really knuckling down on defense.
He is. I like that. He's really put a stamp on this game on both ends of the floor. Brent Davis right now. Yeah, what I like about him, Marcus, is he can really create his own shot at any time he wants to, whether it's in the paint, he could go either direction, he could pull up, he could shoot the set three, but he shows good patience on the perimeter. He hasn't forced much this game. He has had a tendency in the past to force some shots when their team gets down, but right now, you've got a 25-point lead. You don't really need to force much at all.
25 points with 1:46 left to go here in the third period. Hopefully, you know, we talked about making some adjustments at halftime, and Kennedy Charter hasn't really been able to make much of that impact at all that we hoped for.
But since that timeout, they've looked a lot better, and they're showing definitely more activity on the defensive end, really getting after it.
Following this game, we've got just a fantastic game coming up next. And to your point earlier, there are no bad games on today's docket, but I know I'm really excited about this next one, Word of God, who just has so many underrated players.
Oh, yeah.
James Dickey and Josh Peacock and several other players. Jalen Harris is a high major recruit at guard. Really loaded. Looked fantastic last night. And they'll be going against Genesis Academy. Genesis Academy out of Virginia. They have several solid players. Didn't have a great outing yesterday. They'll have a chance to come back and show what they can do today. And then at 3 o'clock, it's going to be a fantastic matchup that I know you're excited for. Quality Education Academy going against St. Louis Christian. That's a whole lot of size.
That's a whole lot of size.
Whole lot of college athletes.
You know what I'd say we do that game, Marcus, is I say we extend the court out and let them play blue line to blue line and push the baskets back, just because we've got so much size. We need to make sure those guys have ample ability. No 3 seconds should be called that game on offense.
One of the things about Quality Education is one of their best players is 6'9" Nate Grimes, who doesn't really play on the blocks that much. He's more of a small forward, big forward kind of combo. But Quality Education, they have some great guard play. They have, quite frankly, they have one of the best overall top to bottom teams that I've ever seen at Quality Education, and that's saying something. They have had some loaded squads in the past, but I think their cohesiveness is already coming together with that squad, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle all that Division I talent inside of St. Louis Christian.
You see the college coaches are starting to get here. We've got filling up on both baselines. A lot of coaches in attendance.
Yeah,
and the stands started to get a little fuller here on both sides. As, wow, Roger Ray just shot that one from, well, he may have shot that one from Charlotte, Marcus.
61-35, under a minute left to play here in the third period.
That looks like he's trying to get a little spark back in his Kennedy Charter team. He's doing everything on his own, hasn't received much help.
Yeah, right now Kennedy Charter, the offense just hasn't been clicking for them. Only 35 points in this game so far, and they've given up 61. And Ozundu hasn't really come back since he came up limping. And I see him, I believe, over on the sideline with his ankle wrapped.
Yes. But you know, Ricky Galtree's, I mean, played spectacular in his absence. I mean, he's scored inside, he's blocked shots, he's rebounding the ball. I mean, he's playing really, really well. I'm not sure what his recruitment looks like, but he's going to have some interest when he leaves here today.
Yeah, a lot of colleges out there, you get hit up from college looking for those big men, those unsigned big men. And if Guthrie, I don't know, I also don't know what his recruitment is like, but he's definitely shown an ability to make an impact at the college level.
Roger Ray says, why not? Let me go ahead and take another one.
There's Austin. And he's called for the walk. You know, one thing I have to point out, and that's another thing, is sometimes people will see these games and say, well, you know, these guys look okay, or, you know, whatever their thing is, or whatever their assessment. And I think it's important to point out that there's so much talent in these games that you're not watching guys playing against lower level teams and, you know, doing okay. You're watching guys who are playing against a bunch of other players who will also be playing in college. So
exactly.
A much better assessment of what their contribution abilities will be when they get to the next level. I see Genesis Academy overlooking this game from the balcony in their red and black warm-ups.
Yeah, and it's almost, you know, the other thing, Marcus, is, which is nice to see, hasn't been that much zone shown today. Been a lot of man-to-man.
It was a little earlier in the first game, but not a lot.
So I see UNCG coming in the building right here.
You expect that, yeah, Wes Miller, former UNC player Wes Miller, beloved by many UNC fans, is in the building. So the head coach dropping by to check out some of the talent. No doubt also wanting to see Dickey later on for Word of God, their commit. So the end of the third, 61-36. as we wrap up this third period. Right now, Kennedy Charter looking for anything to get working on their end. All right, we're back here for the fourth period between Kennedy Charter and Victory Christian. It's been all Victory Christian in this game, so Kennedy Charter is trying to get their spirits up and finish this thing out strong and see if they can make something happen in the last 8 minutes. You know, we were talking earlier, James, about the hotbeds and how North Carolina is one of the hotbeds in the country for high school hoops. And our friend here, Marcus Burnett, working with us on the SUV TV, pointed out we missed a big one. And not mentioning Indiana. Indiana is known for high school hoops.
They are.
Probably.
They have some solid AAU organizations there and produced a lot of pros.
You know, North Carolina, we love our high school hoops here, and you know, one of the states that always says, well, you know, you guys don't know as much about high school than we do is New York, and they have a valid claim on maybe being the high school powerhouse, center, and so does Chicago. But Indiana may be more passionate about their high school basketball than any other state in the country. So thanks to Marcus for pointing that out, being from the area.
And Marcus, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a Charles Barkley type statement.
All right, hold up. Let me turn down the sound.
And say, if Kennedy Charter could come back and win this game in this fourth period, I will not eat from the media room the rest of the day.
Well, you know, Kennedy Charter's not really plugged into the broadcast right now, but I'm sure that if they had heard it, they would have made a. Hold up, wait a minute. I have to stop. You not going to eat in the media room is like most people not breathing. If there's free food, that's where you're going to be.
Well, I'm going to go out on the limb and I'm going to make that statement. So I'm going to count on Victory Christian to close this one out so I can eat my dinner tonight.
Well, Roger Ray may have something to say about that.
He may with
point.
those threes he's shooting.
Ty Gatson now working.
Victory Christian's using a lot of clock here.
But Kennedy Charter's really trying to dig in on defense.
They are. It's just they've got so many talented guards, Marcus. I mean, we were talking about earlier. I mean, you've got Brent Davis that could even play a little bit of a guard. I mean, he can handle it as he travels there. But, I mean, they used up almost a minute on the clock, so they're able to do that every time. This could be a quick fourth quarter.
I'm really excited about this next game. We have Word of God is
oh, wow, big block off the backboard.
Sean Patterson gets the ball up laying on the floor.
And we were talking about the college coaches earlier, Marcus. Winston-Salem State, I'm sure, would normally be here, but they've got actually their opener tonight.
Yeah, Winston-Salem State does a good job recruiting the area. And
they'll be playing in the Whitaker gym tonight, Marcus, as the Gaines Center is still under construction with a new floor they're putting in.
You know, we talked earlier about Chris Paul being from the area, and a lot of people may not realize this, but and a mutual friend of ours, Clarence Gaines Jr., his father, Clarence Gaines, his father, William Gaines, Big House Gaines, one of the winningest coaches of all time, coached at Winston-Salem State. He
did. And he's on the all-time wins list for any level. Won a national championship at the D2 level. Coached the great Earl the Pearl Monroe, Hall of Famer, NBA talent.
And you know, another thing about Winston-Salem State, that it's a little known fact that a lot of people don't know, but if you watch the NBA, I'm sure you're familiar with Steve Smith,
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, a prolific pundit on basketball. He studied journalism at Winston-Salem State University before going on to work at the Greensboro News and Record as a sports writer.
And I believe he played for Big House games.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is definitely familiar with the Winston-Salem area.
He is. Winston should have a pretty good team this year. He's got several local kids on the team. 3 kids from Winston-Salem, 4 kids from Winston-Salem on the team.
Yeah, he's got some nice talent coming in, and I believe they just got a commitment from one of the Greenfield players that we're going to see later today, Crandall, that plays for Greenfield, and he'll be out here today, so you'll get a chance to see him. Deep shot, no good. Up by 23 now. Victory Christian.
As we've got Genesis Academy running laps behind us.
Yeah. Genesis Academy has a couple of really, really nice players, and then they've got in Greg Williams, their point guard, is 6'6". One of the things we talked about yesterday on the broadcast with Brian Flynn was that he's got to develop a consistent outside shot, but he's a dynamic player. They've also got Josh Hall, who's a big guard forward at 6'7". Had a tough game yesterday, but definitely a player that's got a lot of potential, a lot of people like. And then inside they've got 6'8" Brandon Gully, who has really soft hands. And one of the big factor yesterday and down the stretch is Gully was out for much of the second half and wasn't able to contribute, and that just ultimately led to their demise of just not having enough firepower. But Genesis Academy back here today, and we'll be taking on another opponent. This time they'll be going up against Word of God. And that's exactly why UNCG is here, because 6'9" James Dickey is playing for Word of God. A 25-point lead now for Victory Christian. They have to feel really good about what they've done out here so far today. Trap in the corner. Lucas Johnson's pass is deflected out of bounds. Once again, you can follow us at Netcast Sports on Twitter, at Netcast Sports, and you can follow the SUV Sports Utility Vehicle, our partners for today's broadcast, at SUV TV on Twitter. I highly encourage you to do so. Breakaway here for Alston. Nice dunk by Alston, and he's going to draw the foul, and he calmly just walks as his teammates surround him, and Alston just walked as though this is just another day. Another day in the park, fellas.
And you know,
just how I do it.
That's the most emphatic jam we've seen all day. We haven't really seen a lot of above the rim action, believe it or not.
Yeah, we've had some stuff from Zundu earlier.
These guys can't get up as high as I used to be able to back in my day, Marcus, but it's all right.
I don't think they're playing on an 8-foot rim. Doesn't really count unless it's regulation, James.
I had thought that was regulation when I was dunking.
You know, the rim over there where Alston threw that dunk down is still shaking. It's been an issue.
That's been an issue.
On it, and he shot that free throw anyway.
Yeah. Yesterday they had to pause the game for a few minutes while the rim was shaking off a huge dunk.
It's still shaking now. Maybe less of a factor in game action, but for a free throw shoot, you're really moving the goal.
And he's still, when you make it nothing but net, as Ricky Galtry just did. I've been really impressed with him this game, Marcus.
He's looked really good.
He has.
I agree with you. He's really had a nice game with Zundu being out with the wrapped ankle over there on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been a great performance. Again, we don't know what his recruitment looks like, but I mean, right there, I mean, that he cleared out inside, almost got the tip slam. I mean,
time a huge factor now with only 4 minutes left to go. We're halfway through the fourth period. 70-46 in favor of Victory Christian. Nice way for Victory Christian to come back from that tough loss yesterday. follow James and myself on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at M_Shockley. And to follow James, he is at James Jr. 21. We are coming to you live from Winston-Salem, North Carolina today at the 2014 Phenom Hoops National High School Showcase, put on and organized by Phenom Hoop Report. You can find out more about Phenom Hoop Report at phenomhoopreport.com, organized by Rick Lewis and Jamie Shaw, two gentlemen who work very tirelessly in the grassroots of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. And there are so many college players now that owe their college scholarships in part to the exposure that Rick and now Jamie have been able to provide for them. So definitely check that out. Deep outside shot there. Good for Anthony Robinson. Now going the other way. Down by 21.
It looks like I'm going to be safe, Marcus, on my prediction. I might be able to still get in that that media room later today, unless we see several 10-pointers being put up here.
I really want to root for Kennedy Charter. I have to remain impartial, but just because you're going out and on a limb there with your Barkley-like statements.
Oh my! Good night. That you don't see that every day. That's unfortunate. Chris Martin throws a pass. Wallops. I didn't see who that was, Martin. Did you see?
Jones.
DeMar Jones, right in the face.
Yeah, he turned around and tried to whip a cross-court pass from the far corner, and Jones went down right away.
Man. And then he got the ball back and still scored. I don't think he's really hurt that bad. It's probably just more of a surprise. I mean, good to see he's okay.
It can depend on how you take that blow. I mean, if you take it to the nose.
That could be a broken nose if it's on the nose.
Yeah, that was a bullet pass at close range.
Yeah. Got the trainer. Forsyth Country Day always has great training staff, Marcus. We've used their trainers several times in the past at our basketball elite showcases and always done a great job.
Yeah, this is a top-notch facility here at Forsyth Country Day. Happy to be broadcasting. We have a nice setup here.
Oh.
I want to get a shout out to some of our scouts around the area that may not be able to attend today. Charles Clark down in the Fayetteville area, who helped us with several of the broadcasts yesterday. Really enjoyed being able to spend time, hang out with him. Always enjoyed his basketball opinion. We consider him part of the basketball elite family.
Definitely provides great coverage down in Fayetteville, and I mean not just Fayetteville, but Raleigh and the whole eastern,
I think
part
he
of the
does
state.
a fantastic job, and he has the same mindset that we have. Is that you're really just trying to really find every player, regardless of what level they can play at, and what's the right fit for them. And he definitely is a believer in that. And the other thing that I admire about Charles is that he has the ability to rock a bow tie, which I cannot pull off at all, and I would just look silly. But he's able to pull it off, and it looks fantastic. So Charles Clark, if you're watching out there, man, we wish you were here. Appreciate you hanging out with us yesterday, and we look forward to the next time we can hook up and scout some basketball together. So. Over the top, Kennedy Charter. That was a nice little shot by Benjamin Pfeiffer. 6'4", Pfeiffer, senior for Kennedy Charter. Ty Gadsden, really like what I've seen out of Gadsden.
Me too.
The past 2 days, 6'2", but he's a long player. He actually looks taller than 6'2", being guarded right now by 6'4" Lucas Johnson. Just has great control of the ball, great control of the body. He's able to handle pressure. And one thing I really like is I just like how Victory Christian is able to been able to bounce back from that tough loss yesterday.
Yes.
Isaiah Thomas with the ball. Deep outside shot way off for Benjamin Pfeiffer. He had a nice deep shot earlier, but that one's several feet behind the three-point line and not even close. 41.3 seconds left, and I appreciate everyone joining us today. Right now, too little too late for Kennedy Charter. A great win for Victory Christian and a nice bounce-back win after the tough loss yesterday. Deshaun Patterson and Ty Gadsden looking very strong, and Ricky Gotri, the 6'9" center who had to spend most of his time in the game after Ibuka Izundu went down with an ankle injury in the second half, and he's looked really solid. And right now just draining out the clock, and I think it's going to be a nice sort of a kneel down play here for Victory Christian, but good win for them, and that's going to do it. 74-52 in favor of Victory Christian. For Netcast Sports and the SUV. For Netcast Sports and the SUV Vehicle, I've been Marcus Shockley, and for James Blackburn, and we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you for the next game of Quality Education versus Genesis Academy in just a few moments.